This is episode 69 of Off Script with Trish Glose, intimate interviews and fun conversations with interesting people. In front of my mic today is Melodie Picard from the Oregon Cheese Cave, right?
Oui.
Your shop.
My shop.
Your shop in Phoenix?
It's Phoenix, yes.
Okay. Melodie, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Should I say bonjour?
Of course, bonjour.
Okay. So I actually have known you for a few years.
Yes.
Kind of in a wine capacity.
Yes.
Of course. That's where I meet most of my interviews here for Off Script. Tell me, though, where are you from originally?
So I'm from Normandy in northern France. So
Okay.
that's the dairy and orchard land of France.
Is it?
So yeah, so I'm literally made of cheese.
You're literally made of cheese. How long did you live in Normandy?
20 years.
20 years. Goodness. So the landscape, I mean, is it like farmland? Tell me about it.
Yes, so it's very green and lots of pastures, and it's a whole region of northern France. It's a third of the northern coast, and it's the Seine River out of Paris divides it into two halves.
Okay. And Normandy, obviously famous for a lot of us for different reasons.
The historical reasons, yes,
The
internationally.
history there, yes. What was it like growing up in Normandy?
And, well, I grew up in a port, major port, second biggest port of France. So pretty industrial. Mm-hmm. I compare it to Boston.
Okay.
And actually my accent, my native French accent in French is very much like a Bostonian accent.
Really?
It's not pretty.
So wait, hold on. So I'm understanding this. So the accent
Yes.
in Normandy is very similar to the accent in Boston?
Yeah, well, especially on the coast, yeah.
Okay. Huh, I wonder why that is. That's kind of interesting.
To me, it's so funny how the whole, like, northern Atlantic coast,
Right?
it's like the one in the southwest is like Bordeaux, south of Bordeaux, and Biarritz has the surfer culture, and it's very much like San Diego.
Interesting.
And
So those Parisians, do they think you have an accent?
oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah,
Like, oh, she's from up north.
yes. When I'm
Really?
like, I'm just west of you. I'm not north. I'm just west of you. They're like, no, you're from the north.
Very interesting, because I'm from the South, and
Yeah.
obviously we have a very thick accent in the
Yes.
South. And I guess I didn't even put that together, but there are accents in different countries depending on where you're from.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
different ways of saying things, I'm assuming, too?
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, France is the size of one Texas or two Oregons. And we have so many different cultures and accents and slang. And actually, with the accent thing, is the Southern French accent is very much like Southern American. It's like
Interesting.
that lazy twang.
Yeah. So
very
I would
similar.
fit right in
Yeah.
in southern France. That's good to know. I'm going to write that down just so next time I visit, I'll go and be like, hey, y'all,
Yes.
I'm your people.
Exactly.
So growing up there, though, were you considered within the rest of the country? Were you kind of like, oh, you're a farmer, you're a farm girl, you're
And,
from the country?
No, from port.
From port. Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you lived
coastal
right
land.
on the coast.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. What'd your family do? What'd your parents do?
So my parents pretty much like separated after they had me. They had my brother, and then they had me. It's just that cultural thing of they're still in that the generation of we had to get married and do kids, but then we didn't want to.
Gotcha.
So that was the whole stream of like divorces and kids growing up, and but that was cool. My parents were very much in the music and art. Mm-hmm. And the fun part and the not so fun, but the extra fun part.
Okay.
So
Well,
my
what was
dad,
the fun part?
And well, my mom had a bar for 3 years. That was
Fun.
the most famous bar in my hometown. And
Really?
it was a stage, so I had birthday parties on stages and makeup people, and so
Wow,
that
that
was
is
really
fun.
cool.
What was so famous about her bar?
And well, she was already known in the whole music industry, the local
Okay.
music industry. My dad is in that, well, my uncles, and so it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Fantastic. That sounds amazing. So she opens this bar essentially for performers?
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
exactly.
So musical artists are
Yes,
performing
and,
at this
yeah,
bar.
stand up,
Stand-up
and small
comedy?
plays, yeah.
Interesting. And so you had birthday parties there.
Yes, it was really
Fantastic.
cool. And yeah, no, it was the late '80s, and then she went into makeup. She went into
Makeup.
beauty school, and then she went into stage makeup.
Okay. Really?
Mm-hmm.
And how long did she do that for?
And for a good decade.
Wow. Like for theater? Or?
Theater, yeah, stage
Okay.
production, Broadway style.
In France?
In my hometown.
Okay, interesting. And your dad, you said, was a musician, or?
And more like a manager, music.
Gotcha.
Worked in constructions, but yeah, very much into the music scene.
Okay. So you lived in Normandy for 20 years.
Yes.
So you left at 20?
Yep.
Why? Where'd you go?
Oh, when I was my mom getting into the theater world, I started acting when I was 10 on stage, and then when I hit puberty, there was all like 90210, and then after that there was Quentin Tarantino and
Yes.
Friends, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be an actress in Hollywood, and my mom was like, wow, you're not gonna leave with your backpack. So when I started high school, I was definitely like, okay, this is what I'm doing. So I did the au pair program,
Okay.
so a living nanny. So I finished high school and signed up and got my driver's license.
You're
signed
a
up.
French nanny?
And to be a French nanny in America.
That's a movie right there, Melody. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, wait, let's go back to 90210 because, hello, obsessed with
Well,
90210. Obsessed. Friends, too, a little bit. But in high school, I was all about 90210.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly was just, I thought she was just it. She was it for me. What was it about 90210?
And, well, it's just like, this is America.
Well, kinda.
Yes.
I think most of America would be like, no, 90210 is not really a symbol for how
Yeah.
we all are.
I
But
know, Hollywood.
high school girls, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because it's so funny how in France and in the rest of the world, we get a lot of the American culture coming in through the screen. But depending on what country you're in and what talks to you, we, for example, didn't get all the John Hughes movies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know. I love the John Hughes movies
Same.
now.
Yeah.
But we didn't get a whole lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 90210 is something kind of like, oh, this is teenagers. And, I mean, personally, I think My So-Called Life was much more realistic.
Gosh, you are really speaking my language now. Jared Catalano. Hello.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. And she's like my age, and Claire Danes is my age, and she's my age in the show. And it was
Same.
just, but it only lasted one season because it was too real. 90210 had that extra pep of drama.
That's interesting because, yes, 90210 was so ridiculously not accurate,
Yeah, no.
right? I mean, it just, that teenage high school life happened really for no one.
Yeah.
Let's be real. My So-Called Life, you could say absolutely, was very, very real. That's a good point. And I was devastated when they were like, no more seasons of
Yeah.
My So-Called Life.
Yeah, it's the way it's the American culture. And it's the best and the worst. It's very dramatic.
No, I remember being in high school and wanting to chop off my hair and dye it red,
Yeah.
just like Angela.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
For sure. So that's interesting that you say that. Living in France, what are you getting as far as culture from America? A lot?
Oh, yes. Everything on the screen is American. Now we've caught up with, making more. Because in France, the culture was those dramatic, beautiful French movies.
Right.
And there's always an artistic nude scene.
And who wants to see that when you have 90210? Hello.
There's a need for that. I just didn't want to
Totally.
be in that.
Right.
And Tarantino, Pulp Fiction. That is so cool. It's something we don't have.
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
but like Friends made it to France, definitely. Seinfeld never did.
Interesting.
We don't understand that.
Don't understand Seinfeld?
No.
I think actually when Seinfeld came out, I don't think I understood Seinfeld. I do now.
Yeah.
Like now I see the humor in it, but it's definitely a sophisticated, grown-up kind of humor.
It's
in
an
that show.
acquired taste. It speaks to a certain generation, to a certain style, and that never made it to France.
Well, what's funny now because of Netflix, the reporters that I work with in the newsroom are all, 22, 23, 24, and they all love Friends. And I'm just like, you weren't even born when
No,
that came
yeah.
out. But because of, Netflix and other streaming options out there, they're watching all of these shows that, you and I watched when we were
Yeah.
in high school. It's
And
kind of
then
weird.
it speaks to the whole world.
It really
Anybody
does.
in the world can relate to Friends. They're very flawed people.
So true. Very flawed. Okay, let's get back to this French nanny business. You do the au pair program. Why
Yes.
this program specifically?
And well, because it was kind of like the easiest. It was very simple. You sign up to an agency in the country you live in, and then it sends you all over the world. I mean, more specifically to the U.S. And you sign up and get background check. And back in the day, it was all paperwork. There's no internet, so
Okay.
it wasn't. It was the beginning of it, but pre-internet. Woo.
Right? Right.
And then I wanted to be in California.
Okay, obviously.
Obviously. But I did want to be in San Francisco instead of Los Angeles to get, and then I did.
Okay.
I got picked by a family in San Francisco.
So, au pairs at this point in time, was this a popular thing for American families?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It's it's a living nanny that's from a foreign country, and it kind of comes on a student visa of sorts. I kind of call it the studying the American way of life by living with a family, and we
Right.
do have to have some school hours, but mine was pretty loose. I just took ballroom dancing.
Oh my gosh. I'm enrolled in ballroom dancing this semester.
But you're in the family for 40 hours a week,
Wow.
and we get paid like at the time I was paid like $3.50
A week?
an hour.
Oh, $3.50
Yes,
an hour?
because there's women board.
I see. I
but
see.
yeah.
Was the idea too to teach the children French?
Not for me, not for the
Okay.
family. The family picked. It was a cheaper way to have a full-time living person. No, mine's because they were stockbrokers.
Okay.
So they left the house at 5 a.m.
Wow.
So they needed someone to live in with them.
For sure. Did you know English at this point?
Well, kind of, because the rest of the world has to learn English, and
Isn't that insane?
American English, I should say.
American
Thanks,
English.
Hollywood. It's everywhere, and it's the kind of an easier version of English, because I learned the Queen's English in school when I started at 6.
Nice.
And I have family in England, and that's a different language.
Yeah.
I speak American. I don't speak English.
Okay. Well, I find that we're doing, and a lot of families are now taking that into consideration, having their children learn a second language,
Yeah.
teeny tiny.
Yes.
That's where we do, I think, children a disservice. It's so hard to learn a language when you're 15, 16, whatever.
Oh, yeah, when you're grown.
yeah, when
adult,
you're a wee thing, right.
you have no room in there. I mean, you use things. You lose things constantly.
I'm going to disagree. I have a lot of room up here. There's a lot of space that's just left. It's just vacant. But I minored in Spanish
Yeah.
in college. I have been taking Spanish since I was probably in like the 8th grade.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's still hard for me. I'm not fluent.
Yeah. Well, and then we're all different too. Me, I don't think I have a thing for languages like other people do. I just really liked it, and I started in 6th grade.
Learning English?
Learning English.
Okay.
And then it was kind of my major in high school as well. So I learned the Queen's English in school. But then my Welsh teacher, she was like, "Melody, where is that American pronunciation coming from?" And I'm like,
90210.
"Yeah." I'm like, "TV."
I'm talking like Brenda.
And
Please.
I used to just watch all the movies with the subtitles and translate the lyrics from Alanis Morissette and Green Day and Rage Against the Machine.
That's a lot of my friends who are fluent say that's the best way to do it is listen to, Spanish music or
Oh, anything, yeah.
yeah,
Or
or even
immerse yourself.
right. Read Harry Potter in Spanish.
Yes.
Which I don't even know if I haven't read Harry Potter in English, so
Yeah.
why would I want to read it in Spanish?
Exactly.
Okay.
Learning a foreign language is very specific to the brain. It opens up certain pathways that are not opened up or as much opened up in your brain. I raised both my children in French.
Fantastic.
And
yeah.
so
I've heard,
cute and funny.
little 5-year-olds running around speaking French and English to their French and American parents, and I feel like an idiot. I'm just like, wow, that's impressive. So you have 2 kids?
Yes.
Awesome. And they're bilingual?
Yes.
Fantastic. We'll get to the
Sure.
kiddos. So you're in San Francisco.
Yes, I was.
You're a 20-year-old
Yeah, French.
girl
Yeah.
in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
What do you think when you land and you get into that beautiful city?
And well, that was amazing. That was in '99, and San Francisco is a gorgeous city and still very European. So it was not too much of a. And I had to get my driver's license because you're moving to America, so of course you have to have
Yes.
your driver's license.
You need
But
some
I never
ID.
used it.
No,
It's San Francisco,
of course not.
and I lived in the marina.
Wow.
And, so I got like lucky.
Yeah, you did.
I got lucky, and then the family sponsored, like at the end of my first year they get a second kid, and then they say, oh, if you'd like to come back and stay, and we'll sponsor you to go to school, get a student visa. So I did that,
Okay, so coming over here the first time, you had a working visa.
and so it's like more of a student living.
Okay.
Au pair, yeah,
Okay.
student visa.
So this family, they were stockbrokers.
Yep.
Okay, so very busy, high stress.
Yes.
And they had one
Very.
child.
So they had one child together, who was 14 months old when I moved in. Just took her first step. Her name was Ashley. He's Ashley, and we're still friends on Facebook. And she's met my firstborn, and now she is a 6 foot tall, gorgeous 21-year-old.
Wow, isn't that crazy?
Yes.
So you were there, like you said, you had to be there when she woke up
Yeah.
in the morning. Okay, because
Exactly.
parents are gone.
Yes.
Okay. Was that weird at all, being in this, you're 20 years old, being in this stranger's house, essentially, living
yeah.
there, taking care of their kiddo?
And well, I'm very adaptable. I love people, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is the reality, and just being kind of like an older sister. Or I have a little brother and an older brother as well. But yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, this is it. This is I'm very much. I just dig into things. I don't.
Yeah,
think
you're just there, you're doing,
Yeah.
this is your job.
exactly.
And then they have another child?
And so they had two. The husband had two kids before that.
Gotcha.
So there was the stepkids that were there half the time, and then they got a fourth child at the
Okay.
end of my first year.
Okay.
And while I was vacationing in Cancun.
Okay. They had another baby? What?
Yeah.
Nice. And then you go back?
And then, well, yeah, my visa was over, and I had already met my husband at that time.
Okay.
So
In San Francisco?
In San Francisco. Yeah.
How'd you guys meet?
Through friends. So there was that one friend in common I met through his French community, and then my husband knew him through his college community, so
Okay.
his American life.
Okay.
And then so we met, yeah. I went to a show at College of Marin, and my husband was on stage.
Oh, he was an actor.
He was, yeah.
Is he still an actor?
And no, he's more of a musician.
More of a musician now. Okay. So there was a spark, obviously. You
Yes.
just see this handsome devil on the stage, and
Yes.
that was it for you?
And well, kind of. I mean, it was just like, hey, it's cool. And then I got his number, and then I called him eventually. And French, I mean, European and American dating is quite different.
How so?
And so in France and in Europe, it's like you're dating someone, you are with that one person.
Okay.
You are committed to that one person for the time being. Whether it's a week or a month, you just go with the flow, but you're committed to one person. That's your boyfriend, girlfriend, like right
That's
off
it.
the bat.
Nobody
it's
else.
Semi-serious. It's just committed, respectful for that one. And then you come to the U.S., it's like dating. And I'm like, okay, can't translate that word first up. And it's sort of like it's all or nothing, just like the American culture. It's like either you're kind of dating, you're seeing each other, but you can see other people, or you engage in getting married.
See, I don't know. I mean, I think that's probably true for some people, but I don't know. Haven't ever been a big dater, so
Yeah.
I don't really know. But I don't know. That's interesting. We should probably have someone on the podcast to discuss dating, because the dating world, one of my very best friends right now, is kind of dating, and she hates it.
Yeah,
It's awful.
yeah,
It's the worst, actually.
exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a whole evolution, because that kind of respectful commitment type of dating came from the rest of the world with the influence. So there's more people that are like, I like that concept, instead of being all floozy and they're all over the place and you don't know what
Did
you're
you just say
doing.
floozy?
Yeah.
Well, it's true. I don't know if you're a fan of Sex and the City.
And I've watched. Sex and-
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Sex and the City, and those all of those schools of thought when it comes to dating exist within this show. So you have that character who believes that it is just all about commitment, one person, all she wants to do is get married. And then there's another, where it's just about dating this one person right now, but marriage is so far off her radar. And then you have another character where dating is stupid, all she wants to do is have sex.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I love that show, because I think there are so many schools of thought within just every single episode. But it's interesting. I think some people out there, they want to date a lot of people, and some don't. They just want to have one person, and that's their commitment.
Well, now it's so different, too. I would hate to be single and then do all those dating apps and the internet and...
I'm telling you, my very good friend has gone through some of those things, and it's the worst.
Yeah.
I hear stories. She tells me stories. It's fascinating and it's fun for me, but I feel for her because she just, again, you're having to put yourself out there over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay. That could be a whole nother episode where we talk about dating. So you met your husband. How old were you? Like 21?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Young.
Yeah.
And you knew this was the guy, or did you guys, how long did you date?
And, well, it was nice that I got the student visa because there was no pressure in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So we just got to date. And for a couple of years, and then we moved in together. And I was going to college in Marin, and then I graduated. Well, before I graduated and I finished my student visa, we got married so I could get a green card.
Nice, nice.
But we had 3-4 years of dating before that, so
Fantastic.
that helped.
Okay. And so now what does he do?
And so he was in shipping, receiving, and inventory for 20 years and then now he just started 2 months ago at Organicos.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a little bakery right behind my shop.
Right? A great bakery.
Yes.
Great bakery. So how long do you do the nanny thing?
And well, just my first year.
Okay. So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
after that,
I was a student.
going to school.
Yep.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I wanted to be an actress.
An actress. That's right.
Yeah.
Are you pursuing this at
I
this
did.
point? Okay.
Well, I was in the College of Marin, and having a thick foreign accent was not always helpful.
No.
But they did a Molière play, so I did that. I actually played the daughter, and I did my language in French. I did all my lines in French.
Beautiful.
And it's the one where the daughter has a boyfriend, but her dad's making her marry someone else, and she's like faking insanity not to. So it was perfect. I just did all my lines in original Molière French, so that was really cool.
That's awesome. So how are you pursuing this dream, though, of becoming an actress? I mean,
and my goal was Hollywood, so
okay.
I was finishing school, and then we moved to Los Angeles.
Okay. You take the jump and move to LA, where it all kind of happens.
Exactly.
Are you going on auditions? Are you?
And so we first moved, got established, we got recommended to Culver City because it's nice and centralized, and that was perfect. And that was in 2005. And then I to make friends, I joined in the French Francophone community. In Los Angeles, there's every single community in the world you can think of.
Exactly.
Like for the French, the Francophone community or the French-speaking people, it is the largest Francophone community in the world for a non-Francophone country, is in the greater Los Angeles.
Okay, I have no idea what you just said.
It's like the most French-speaking people. And
is it a community group?
And there was like those meetup groups.
Okay.
At the time, Facebook was not quite a thing yet. So yeah.
So it was Facebook, but not on the internet, kind of. It's like Facebook
it was
in person.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
It's like you. And so that was cool. And then, of course, some people work in the industry. So I got connected, and I got a manager and an agent, and I got SAG.
Wow, you went for it.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
And so that was cool. And I saw myself on the small screen and big screen as a human furniture.
Nice. Did you want to do theater, or did you want to do?
Oh no, screen. Always, yeah.
Film, movies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or TV show. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of auditions were you going on?
And well, I didn't get a whole lot, and because when I finally got my manager, and then she hooked me up with an agent, the economy crashed.
Oh,
So yeah,
that was what, like mid 2000?
so it was 2008, 9.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the closest I got to getting a nice little screen was a Jack in the Box commercial. And it was between me and the woman who got it, and it was funnier that she got it. She was like basically me 20 years older. So, but yeah, that was
A Jack in the Box commercial.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's when I realized, like, I don't believe in fast food. I don't like fast food. And I'm like, I don't know if I have the moral compass to actually do Hollywood.
I hear ya. Because you have to be super hungry, and it doesn't matter if you don't like fast food. You can't just turn down. You have to get whatever you can get as an actor.
The ratio of like you know it's a 1% chance. Like you do 100 auditions, you might get one part, but also it might not get to the screen. It might even get to filming. You might need like the ratio of things being made is unbelievable. And then it was also when the economy flipped around, the internet boom happened with the online casting. And then that's when I was like, wow, okay, so there's those parts, like there was a part for a French waitress in True Blood, and I was a huge fan. I was like, ooh, it's in True Blood. And then they picked a French actress from France. Like, she already had a resume in French, she already had a career in French. She was not very known or anything, but she was willing to pay her own ticket and get paid nothing, and she already had an IMDb. And so that's when it happened. I'm like, I'm here, I have the green card.
Yeah,
I
I'm right
understand
here
the
in front of
culture.
you.
I'm right here. But then Marion Cotillard with her César and her Oscar auditions for the same part online. Well, they're going to pick her. Not going to pick me. So that's when I was like, I was disenchanted.
I was just going to say, super disheartening.
And just not really disheartening, like not heartbroken, just disenchanted. Like that, oh, it is a big business thing. And once you are doing it, it's fun, but the getting there is grueling. And, and then also with all those wonderful things coming on the screen, and then all those people that work really hard to cast everything, to be in everything, they're just regular people. They go home and they watch stuff. So it's like the more you are on screen, the more you get picked to be on screen.
Well, for sure. Yeah.
So, and then who you know and how you connected.
Yeah, that's super frustrating because it is somewhat, I mean, I guess it can be, I don't know, an ugly business.
And yeah, it's grueling, and it's, people are not very nice. And they're all stressful. Like the professionals, they're very stressed out.
Yeah.
So, and then you get to a point where, you get an audition and you're trying to wow someone, when it comes to a point where it's a room with a camera and there's an assistant that just pushes the button. There's no one in there.
Right.
They're all behind somewhere else because...
on their phones.
Yeah.
Busy. Okay. So you get disenchanted.
Yep.
Do you, at this point, go, I need to do something else?
And well, I had already started doing something else. And
what was that?
So I was doing Los Angeles wine tasting. My friend Jean-Baptiste had started a business.
Here it is.
In Los Angeles.
Okay.
And it was wine events on rooftops in Hollywood.
Fantastic.
And he had classes in his loft and art gallery openings and things like that. So there was a wine tasting, and then I would buy all the cheese in the charcuterie and make the charcuterie boards and stuff.
Okay.
And that was the beginning of the specialty foods. So that I would go to Trader Joe's for that, but then Whole Foods. We didn't really have the budget for Whole Foods.
Right. I still don't have the budget for Whole Foods at this point in life. Had you been a wine drinker obviously...
Oh, no.
Okay, no.
I'm a terrible French person. I never smoked a cigarette in my life.
What?
Yeah, and I didn't start drinking wine until I was 25 with French people in Los Angeles.
You're a horrible French person.
Yes.
The worst.
Exactly.
You were a cheese eater, though.
And, well, yeah, but that's just almost a given. It's just that's cheese.
That's for breakfast, right?
Yes.
You started drinking wine at 25?
Yeah, just meeting French people.
I beat you there. I started drinking wine at 17.
Yeah. And so that was, it was cool. And being like, yeah, it's fun. But I like the game of like discovering things in education and like for enjoyment.
Would you say you sort of were bitten by this whole wine thing?
More like specialty foods.
Foods was really it for you. Okay.
And just like bringing pleasure through food and drinks to people. Also being in the country, like coming from France and going to the US and even landing in San Francisco where you think it's a big city and then this is like food desert.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Big time.
It was very disappointing to see like it's like ooh, you go to Safeway or do the grocery and then it's like the same item in 15 brands. You know, it's Trader Joe's started changing things up.
Yeah.
But so I was just like educating people with food.
You could even find that, I mean, it is the desert, literally, but living in Las Vegas, there are food deserts everywhere in this ginormous city. You can find specialty things, but you have to drive for them.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't ever remember a farmer's market in Las Vegas. It's sad. And the same with Los Angeles, too. It's a huge city, and you can find those specialty foods and, you know, farmers markets, but they're not on every corner. You have to travel to get there.
Now is definitely a different scene.
Yes.
The whole country is finding itself a new life through small farmers and small crops and breweries, wineries, creameries. It's beautiful to see. Europe is the other way around. Europe is broke and industrializing and privatizing. So it's, you know, American style foods coming there with the fast food and the frozen foods.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty sight.
Well, would you say it almost seems like smaller towns, we do have food deserts here. I mean, even in Southern Oregon. But are we a little bit luckier because we have to depend on the land a little bit more?
And I would think so. I mean, we're really lucky. We can grow anything.
Anything.
We can have anything. And so that really helps. And there's also a lot of people moving here from California as definitely has a little bit more of that food culture and from anywhere. And discovering like the quality over quantity and supporting local.
So you're getting into wine tasting and kind of the specialty food scene.
Yes.
Okay. Building these charcuterie boards.
Yep.
Okay. Was it just nice when you put one in front of someone and they're just like, oh my gosh, what is this? And kind of going through what everything was. Fun.
Exactly. It's just like they're having fun and taking risks. And it's like, ooh, I never had blue cheese. And I'm like, that's good. You know?
Isn't that crazy when you hear someone? I mean, because you're obviously a foodie. I'm a foodie. When someone's like, oh, I've never had blue cheese before. I just want to strangle them.
And no, I'm a people person and customer service person.
I am too, but I also want to be like, get out from under your rock, man.
And then I'm like, no, here is this blue cheese. It's a triple cream from Germany. It's called Grand Noir, and it's like, you know, blue cheese 101.
Nice.
It's really easy to eat.
Yeah.
And then try it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is. And
Perfect.
Trying to find the right thing for the right person. That's my calling.
So, well, where does that take you?
And so at the time when the whole economy crashed, and I was in 2008-9, that's when the whole specialty foods happened in grocery stores. So with Whole Foods creating the specialty wine and cheese, and then they opened a brand new big one in Venice, and I already lived in Santa Monica. And then there was the co-op, the local co-op, Co-Opportunity, did the same thing. They had a remodel to bring in more stuff, including a wine and cheese selection. So I was hired to do that.
Awesome. So this is where you're gaining a lot of knowledge, I'm assuming. Are you buying stuff? Like, are you buying stuff for the store?
No, I was the assistant.
Okay.
So I just cut cheese.
Just cut cheese.
I just cut the cheese.
So many jokes. Well, what are you learning at this point? Are you learning about different cheeses?
So cheese-wise, it was about learning so much more about all kinds of cheeses.
Okay.
Because I was more on a French background, but like learning more about local cheeses, American, California, cheddars, and just learning more.
Cow's milk, sheep's milk.
Exactly. All of that, different styles. And wine it was more on the organic, natural, like the difference between conventional and organic natural wines. small vineyards versus big vineyards. And
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, you were also in a great location to taste wines,
Yeah.
California wines, just being there.
Exactly.
Well, how do you guys get up to Southern Oregon then?
So I did the whole wine and cheese thing, and then my husband and I, well, we were expecting our firstborn.
Okay, what year was this?
So it was in 2012.
2012. Okay. So do you have the baby in California or?
And, yes, we had
Okay.
him, in Santa Monica, but when it was in my last trimester of pregnancy, that's when we decided that we wanted to move. The first option was to go back to the Bay Area. My mother-in-law is in Napa, but then we're like, it's too crowded and expensive.
Yeah.
And it was Facebook. A friend of ours had moved to Ashland, Oregon,
Ashland, Oregon.
and we saw it on Facebook.
You saw Ashland on Facebook?
Saw Ashland on Facebook.
What'd you think?
And my husband, he's from the Midwest. He was born in Oklahoma City, raised in Missouri and Texas.
Wow.
And and then also moved to the Bay Area in California after high school. But it was kind of like smaller living, more not country but nature living. And then I'm a city girl, so I was like, I don't know about that. But this kind of was the perfect in between, where there's enough happening for me.
Okay.
You know, with the theater and the culture and the food, and my husband's like, hey, there's a wine country, you can get a job.
Yep. Well, you do,
I
right?
did.
Yeah. Where did you start working when you moved here?
So I was hired at Enoteca for Edenvale Winery
Yep.
on the plaza in Ashland.
Okay.
And,
Doing what?
Serving wine.
Serving wine.
Serving wine to people.
Do you have to, when you get this job, you obviously have to learn all about Edenvale
Yes, and the Rogue Valley.
and the Rogue Valley because you have to be able to tell people kind of what they're tasting.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And so be specific about the wines I'm serving and the area. And it was great because I was in this little tiny tasting room on the plaza in Ashland, and you have all the tourists coming in. It was May 2013, so the whole Shakespeare full season.
Big time.
And this whole summer was just people like, ooh, so where are we and where do I go? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's look it up.
Oh, so you're like learning about this with
Yes,
tourists.
with the people, and then there was
Fantastic.
locals that would come in, and same thing, they would feed me information. And
Oh, good.
so it was just like learning.
That's nice. It's nice to live in a community where, and I think Southern Oregon is definitely it, where people are more than happy to help you learn about the place that they
Yes.
live and love. I think
Definitely.
that's really awesome. I'm assuming for any tourist who was tasting wine from you, that kind of had to be very romantic. There's this French woman with this beautiful French accent pouring me wine and telling me all about the Rogue Valley.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I'm going to move here.
it was so different for me because I grew up in France being like pretty average. I mean, my husband when I was always complaining about being short, like, what, weren't you short your whole life? I'm like, not in France.
Not you weren't short in France? Were you?
No, I'm like average minus,
Gotcha.
you know, but
Okay.
yeah.
But here you're short?
Here I'm short, man. I'm 5'1", I'm short.
Yeah, you
And,
are short. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, totally. And then, but it's just like normal. And then I always had like my goal and doing things. So it's just like,
Yeah.
And then moved to San Francisco in this big international community. So when I was still fairly young and, you know, baggy jeans, t-shirts, and, you know, all cool. Plus I already had my man, you know. And then moved to Los Angeles. It was a little bit more wow. But it's Los Angeles, I mean, exotics,
Yeah.
gorgeous, beautiful model woman, or the ones from like South America, or
Right.
just like the ethnically ambiguous, as Hollywood likes to say.
Perfect.
And but English, like the English accent is always very. So I'm not like anything special. I'm just kind of cute and funny. And then I moved to the Rogue Valley, and all of a sudden I'm exotic.
Because of the accent?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I
It's
mean,
very different.
I would argue, I get that. I think, absolutely get that. You know, living in South Carolina, same. I didn't really stick out at all. And then moving to the West Coast, now all of a sudden I was the girl from South Carolina. And I was the only one in my class with a Southern accent. And so you stick out.
Yeah,
And people like that.
exactly.
They like differences. Believe it or
Absolutely.
not. I know
Yes.
we're all like, oh, you know, we all have to be the same. Negative. No. Difference is
So-
actually
so much more interesting.
Way more interesting.
So much more interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought that up because I think, somewhat when you have an accent and you're not from America, you're somewhat of a celebrity to us because it's like, ooh, tell me all about France. I've never been there before. What's it like?
Exactly. Like in San Francisco and Los Angeles, it didn't matter. I mean, everybody has an accent, so.
Yeah.
But I went to Missouri twice to meet Grandma, and then Grandma's wedding. And
wait, Grandma's wedding?
And my husband's grandmother, she unfortunately lost her husband, so she got me remarried.
Nice.
So
Grandma got remarried.
Exactly. So we went to the Ozarks of Missouri twice in winter.
Sorry.
First time we went for Christmas, and then another time we went for Valentine's Day for her wedding. And
no.
You go to Kansas City, and then you drive like 2 hours south, and then you get to the small town where there's we had the wedding reception at Golden Corral.
Ooh.
And then, the only place like Walmart. And then I think that's the second time I went to a Walmart besides the one in Houston. And then and they didn't even bother trying to understand me. I mean, at this point, I spoke perfect English, but they didn't even try.
No.
Like, oh, you're so darn cute. Oh, put you on a shelf. And I'm like, okay.
Put you on a shelf. You're so cute. You little French girl.
Yes, exactly.
That's funny. No, that is interesting. And I think you find, especially as you're younger and you like that, like moving somewhere, going to college, you tend to reinvent yourself because then you just realize I'm boring. I'm average. There's nothing interesting about me. I need to come up with something that's interesting.
Exactly.
Or be interesting, or be the smartest one, or be whatever,
exactly.
famous.
Be liked.
Be liked.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I think a lot of people probably know exactly who you are in Southern Oregon because of your accent.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Melodie, the cheese French girl. Yeah, we know her.
Yeah, they might not even know my name. Maybe more now. I have my own business, but and because I spent a couple years selling wine in the valley.
Yeah.
Because I moved from the tasting room to being the sales rep, so I went to all the events and the pourings in the store. So starting to meet everyone in the industry, that was really cool. Then expecting the second born. Then after that, coming out on maternity leave, there's a job that opened up at Market of Choice. So I did 2 years of cutting cheese at Market of Choice with a big heavy uniform. So people always they don't recognize me, but then they that voice sold me cheese or
Right.
wine.
Right.
I know that voice.
Well, and this was kind of being back, in a shop, a grocery store, essentially, Market of Choice. This is kind of what you knew. This is what you liked, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When I moved to Ashland, I was hoping to go to the co-op because that's what I knew, and I already had a lot of knowledge. But like any co-ops, it's a great environment to work in and live, and so there's good jobs. So there's barely anyone leaving ever. So
Yeah. That's frustrating.
exactly.
So you're at Market of Choice, cutting that cheese again.
Yep.
Do you have visions and dreams of opening up your own shop?
And not really. I'm a creature of comfort too. It's just this is nice. I get to go work and get paid, and I'm right there in the middle, and
Yeah.
I'm just cutting cheese, and people ask me questions, and so that was comfortable. That's what I knew, but I never thought to be that adventurous, but I just had to, because
Why?
there was my true calling is in cheese and specialty foods more than wine, and so there's no jobs. There's no jobs. It's like the co-op never has an opening, the Road Creamery never has an opening.
Which is it's
It's
great
good
for
thing.
them.
Oh, absolutely, because
Yeah.
consistency, because people, and then
Yeah.
they're little family, and now I know them. I know Tom of Road Creamery. I'm friends with David, and I know Kelly. We're from the co-op and all that, but there's just that's what Kelly. She's the one who told me at the co-op. She's like, I never have an opening in my department. So the job scarcity, because I did there's no other cutting cheese jobs. There's the Fred Meyer that had opened, but it's another corporate grocery thing. I'm "Ugh, been there, done that.
Yeah, you want specialty.
Yeah, so that was there was none.
Okay.
And then went back into the wine world, and I was like, that's not what I want to do.
Okay. So you take a leap?
Yep. Yeah. No, that was kind of everything happened for a reason, meeting people and being sad and depressed and be like, what am I going to do? And,
You were sad and depressed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the first time in my life. It's hard.
When was that?
And that was last year.
Last
the
year?
last couple of years, yeah.
Yeah. Because you weren't doing what you really wanted to do, or you didn't know what you wanted to do?
Well, I knew what I wanted to do, but I never thought that I could do it by myself or do it myself. You know, it's just like there's no jobs out there, and I have a big personalities that people take the wrong way. So it was very hard. It was heartbreaking.
Was the idea of opening your own place too big?
And it never even came to my mind because it's just like the financial aspects of things.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you have to have a job to, support your family but like we have no money.
Right. And the idea of taking out a loan
Yeah.
to open up a shop is just like
Exactly.
scary.
So it all happened really quickly last year when I got offered to take over a business. And so it started seriously. I was like, okay, well, I've been talking about doing my own thing. I'm not sure how, but here is this opportunity that I could take over and then put a little cool case there and have cheese. So that's when I started looking at it, and that was just May last year.
Wow, that's fast.
And then I created my little LLC, and then that fell through, and then I just kept going. I went across the street there was a restaurant being built, and then they had the other instant talent. And I was like, okay. And then it's like, well, unfortunately, we have to keep financing the other end of the building to open our restaurant, so we cannot like upgrade this part. So I just kept going. And then I ended up meeting through a couple of jobs. I ended up meeting Andrea, who's the landlord for my shop. And she's like, hey, I got a little shack. You want to put cheese in the shack? And I knew she was involved with the Phoenix Clubhouse. I didn't know she was the owner of the whole building. So this tiny little shack in Phoenix kind of like, hey, Melodie. And that's affordable. It's small and affordable. And then a lot of people were very supportive. And there was I went to different entities about like financing. How do you finance something? And then I'm too small of a project to be financed by anything, actual financial institutions. So it would be just like investors, like private investors.
Okay.
So, a fund, raising funds online. And then there's a lot of people that say, oh, I'd like to invest. No one came through except one couple. But at that point, that was it. And so like the May to July was like, do I want to do this? And then August 1st, I'm like, I'm doing this. I created my Facebook page for my shop, and I agreed to the lease. And then went online, did a crowdfunding, and got a little bit of money. But mostly at the end of the day, it's my husband and his 401k.
And here you are.
That's it.
Wow.
And in 2 months, I opened.
Wow. And and it's called the Oregon Cheese Cave.
Yes.
In Phoenix.
Yes.
And it's tiny.
It's tiny. It's 200 square feet. It's as big as this room.
And are you happy there?
Very.
Okay.
Yes. It's slowly but surely, so it's not too much at once, and so I get to learn how to be a businesswoman.
Well, you weren't giving up on this.
Oh no.
No.
I'm already planning and spending, so.
Beautiful. I love that. What kind of cheese can we find in your cheese shop?
So I have world cheeses. I carry all the cheeses, all the types of cheeses from all over the world with a focus on Oregon. So I have one case full of Oregon cheese.
Okay. What's in that Oregon cheese case?
And so you have the locals, all the locals. I always make sure I have one Royal Creamery Blue and one Royal Creamery Cheddar.
Of course.
And then I have By George, because they're awesome.
They are awesome.
And Johnny just won 3 cheese Oscars, so that's really cool.
Yay!
Yay, Johnny! And then I have 2 local raw goat milk creameries, and Oak Leaf and Wisace, and Mama Terra with beautiful goat cheese clouds. And so that's for the locals. I have little tortas by Sunrising Farms, cream cheese tortas that right down the street from me.
Exactly.
So all the locals, and then trying to reach out to more of Oregon.
Right.
So right now it's small selection. But.
And then as far as the other cheeses go, what are some of your favorites from around the globe?
And well, always make sure I have Camembert in my case. So a small round reel of like funky brie, because this is where I'm from. That's the cheese of Normandy. My mom lives 40 minutes away from the town of Camembert. So that's kind of like the representation of where I'm from.
Of course, you have to have that.
And I have some cider to go with that from home. So I have apple and pear.
Cider.
Cider, yeah, because Normandy, we invented pear cider.
Did you? I did not know that.
Yeah.
I've been getting into ciders recently.
Yeah.
Ciders are like a really big thing right now, especially in Oregon.
Well, yeah, because they're fluffy and very comfortable like beer, but they're not as they don't have that acquired taste of beer, that yeasty, beer taste. So it's kind of easy to drink, especially in the summer as bubbles.
Totally.
It's warm.
Fun. Okay,
So,
what other cheeses from around the globe are your favorites?
And well, I do like to hear a lot of American cheeses from other states.
Okay.
So California and Wisconsin.
Okay.
And then there's Europe. And I go with the flow. It's not like I have a favorite or anything. It's just I go with the flow of my needs. So customer requests and seasonal requests. Like I've been having buffalo mozzarella from Italy. It's a fresh, real mozzarella.
Yes.
And made from water buffalo milk.
Of course.
And
if someone came to you and said you can pick one cheese to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Probably be like those double cream brie. It's a really easy, gooey,
Not
creamy.
triple cream?
And well, some are called triple cream, but it's more like that texture of double cream.
Gotcha.
There's like no funk even, just a nice smooth rind.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my comfort food.
Okay. When you can't eat the rind, those are the
you
best.
You have to eat the rind.
Have to eat the rind.
Yes.
Have to.
Yeah. It's the harder a cheese is, the less you want to eat the rind, because usually it's finished with something to cover, wax and other things.
Okay, so the softer the rind, eat it up, people.
Oh yes, it's an integral part of the cheese, and it's probably also the healthiest.
It's the healthiest.
Yeah, it's full of penicillin bacteria.
Oh, good.
Eat
that penicillin
Eat
up.
that mold. I think this one's so healthy.
I feel like I've turned into a cheese snob, because anytime I'm like double cream, no, I'm like, ooh, triple cream. I always go for the triple cream because it's like butter.
Oh yeah, yeah. Saint Andre, I call that cheese butter because it had the texture of butter and tastes like cheese.
Did you say Saint Andre?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. That's the accent. I just put the American on that.
Oh, exactly.
For you.
I have decided here in the Valley, I will never make an effort to pronounce it any other way than the way it's supposed to be pronounced.
As you should. As you should.
Because I can.
Exactly. Well, we're going to wrap up a little bit and get to the final three. But yeah, I'm going to tell people to go visit you at the Oregon Cheese Cave.
Well, yeah, it's in 310 North Main Street in Phoenix. It's on the main drag, one southbound. So across the street from the subway. It's the best way to put it.
There you go. And then if people need help as far as like building a charcuterie board, you can help with that.
Yeah, the primary thing is I have fridges full of cheeses. So you can buy pieces of cheese, and I'll help you according to the needs that you want, what you want to eat, what your guests want to eat, how to, no cow. I have vegan cheese as well, because everybody gets cheese in my shop. But it's Oregon made. And then
That's
I have plenty of sides, Oregon-made sides like jams and pickles.
Fun.
And a little Europeans as well, like Marcona almonds. And,
okay, I need to come visit you.
It's pretty cool.
If I'm building a charcuterie board tonight and I want 3 cheeses on there, because everybody has an opinion. I need a soft one. I need a hard cheese.
Yes.
Like what should be on my board?
Ideally, you want, at least 3 cheeses.
Okay.
If you do less than that, it's just kind of like you're trying to focus on those.
Yeah.
But if you're just having an array, at least 3 is good. And then you want something soft, something hard, and something unusual.
Okay, so like a brie.
So a brie is always nice. And then mixing...
brie. Wait, I can't even do it. You say it again.
A brie.
It's beautiful.
And then mixing
It's beautiful.
mixing milks, because there's always going to be someone who doesn't eat cow's milk.
So maybe a cow's milk and a sheep's milk.
And a sheep and a goat, yeah.
And then something unusual, just meaning something that's...
Well, blue.
Okay.
Blue is different, and something flavored is fun too.
Okay.
And yeah.
Fun.
Keep it basic.
Yeah, I'm going to come see you.
And,
you're going to
but
help
if
me.
you're building a charcuterie board, you have to have charcuterie on it, which is cured meat.
Yes, please.
And,
Please have cured meats on your charcuterie board.
Exactly.
And mustard.
And yes, well, anything pickled to take
Please.
from that meaty
Yes.
fat. And
Love
I've been trying to educate people with, the whole like cheese board. It's a cheese. Charcuterie board is a cured meat because charcuterie comes from flesh.
Right.
So I have to have meat on there. I ask vegan people not to use that word.
Charcuterie.
Yes.
Because charcuterie means cured
To
meats.
peel the flesh off of an animal when curing in salt. Yes. So please don't use that word. For your sake.
Yeah, you're finding actually now at a lot of wineries, they're separating them. There's a cheese board, and then there's a charcuterie board.
And we're in a valley with a lot of foodie people, and then there's people that are a lot of vegetarians, so they won't
Yes.
eat the meat, and you want to separate that. And
I'll take it. I'll take theirs. I'll
I'll
their
take
side.
everything.
Yeah, same here. I'll take it all.
I'll take everything.
All right, Melodie, let's get to the final three. Best advice you've ever been given.
And well, I'm a very people person, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fixer as well. And when somebody has a problem with me, it's really hard for me.
When someone has a problem with you,
Yeah,
like they
'cause-
don't like you.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
and then so that kind of spurred from family drama, and then at the end of the day, it's like they're like, well, Melodie, if that person, you wouldn't be friends with them if they was outside of work or outside of your family, because you have a very different lifestyle and different more personality and It's like they shouldn't be in your life. It doesn't matter if you have to work with them or if they family. It's just if you don't like them as people, it's okay. You can let go of them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stop trying to fix people.
Are you a person where like everyone has to like you?
And no, but sometimes I don't understand why.
Why they don't like you?
If I did something, yes, or if we have different personalities, but if we're supposed to like each other and then you invented something in your head against me, I don't get that. I'm a very logical, practical person, so
Right.
it's hard to.
Was there someone in your family who didn't like you?
Yeah.
And that didn't make sense?
Yeah,
Okay. Like a sibling or
a cousin.
a cousin? Sorry, I'm super nosy.
Yeah.
It's my job.
Yeah, but it's like he divided the family over it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
When I did what they wanted, it's like they hate hypocrisy, and then they're straightforward, and then they did something that a lot of us didn't approve of, and it was pretty mild, but everybody was complaining behind their backs, and then I was like, okay, I'm the other side of the world, but I'm going to tell you. And I got shunned out of his family.
Wow.
It's like, and he tried to build people against me and be like, oh, when she comes, we're not going to see, we can't have family dinner, and I'm like, what?
Is that still the case now? Today?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
Jeez.
And I still don't understand. And I don't understand. I've accepted it by now because he's
Yeah.
a terrible person. So I was like, well I'm just going to stop trying to fix it.
Yeah. When you go back and visit, you don't see
No.
him or his family.
No.
Wow. That's sad.
And it's like, it never came from me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It's like, I never said anything. I never did anything. I gave one complaint. It's like, you shouldn't have done that. That's hurtful. That's it. But then, like, it's always, well, there's two sides to the story, or like people don't want to get involved. I'm like, but I didn't do anything.
Yeah. No, that's hard.
Well,
that's
Melody, she
frustrating.
must have done something. I'm like, but I didn't do anything.
So your advice then is to essentially you had to let this person go. Let it go.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, they want to come back around and they want to get over it. I'm like, I'm open. I'm here.
You'll be here.
I'll be here.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's tough, especially when it's family. I think it's tougher when it's family.
And yes, well, yeah, because it divides people and it
Yeah.
hurts people.
Yeah.
I mean, my grandparents are very sad over it.
Ugh.
So
I bet.
it's super lame. But,
It's lame. I agree. Very lame. If you ever left this place, Southern Oregon, what would bring you back here? What would you miss the most?
And well, I love living with the seasons. Having like every season so perfectly. So lovely.
It is lovely.
Get to change wardrobe.
Change the wardrobe, and we've had the most fantastic summer.
I know. It's been perfect.
It's just been an amazing summer.
It's been so lovely. And so hopefully it can keep going. But our planet is angry.
I know. It is
Going through
angry.
it's going through menopause.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It's partly natural, partly our fault.
Yes.
hot
Right.
flashes, cold flashes,
Exactly.
erratical behavior.
Very erratic.
She's holding us responsible, trying to kick us out, you know.
Mother Nature is going through menopause. That's pretty good. So the seasons would bring you back here.
And and the diversity, because it's like we have the one region in the world for wine, especially, that we can grow anything. And they're always fighting in the wine world about like, what is Southern Oregon? I'm like, it's diversity, variety. No one in the world does this. Like all of those grape varietals, all those styles of wine, nobody can do something like that because of the climate. Everything else is always too dry or too cold, specific soil. In Europe, they could more, but they're set in their ways, so they're not going to change it. Here, we can do anything. It's so cool.
It's super cool. All right. I like that. We can do anything. Final meal, final drink. What would that look like?
And, well, I'll probably have a cheese board.
You have to have a cheese board. You have to.
And a little pate and a nice, baguette. And then a nice real glass of milk.
Real glass of milk.
Yeah, it's like full fat, full organic, full fat, real glass of milk.
Okay.
And my grandfather's pear almond chocolate tart.
Ooh. Pear almond chocolate tart.
Yeah.
Sounds
It's a
delicious.
chocolate pie, basically.
Okay.
So with the ganache as the base, and then Calvados soaked pears. So Calvados is a pear brandy from where I'm from. And then the whole like frangipane crust, almond crust on it.
Yummo.
It's delicious.
Pears grow in Normandy?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, we're orchards.
And
Apple and pears.
And look where you are.
Exactly.
All the similarities. I
Yes.
like it. Well,
Totally right.
I'm glad you came over as a nanny all those years ago.
20 years ago.
and now you are sharing your love of cheese
Yes.
with Southern Oregon.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. If you're listening to this podcast on iTunes and you like it, please subscribe, rate, and review. It helps other people find us. You can also check out the video portion of this podcast at ktvl.com. Just click on features, then off script one more time. Melodie Picard from the Oregon Cheese Cave in Phoenix.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Trish.